Hello and welcome to episode 168 of No Load Time. My name is Obed, and with me is the guy that spent half of his stimulus check on Axe body spray, Mr. Joel Young.
Well. How's it going?
You fumigated yourself, sir.
I'm just glistening. Just
Glistening in the Axe. You walk
yeah.
out,
Just
yeah.
what's those commercials like it was like Old Spice
Old
or
Spice.
something, whatever. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like the guy's like floating or whatever.
yeah. It was Old Spice was the one that really brought those commercials up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Axe had the random encounter. I was like, yeah, that's not
Yeah,
gonna fly in the real world, sir.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
just rubbing their hair. Nah, I'm not. Yeah, no, sir.
yeah, yep. You're good, sir. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm tired personally, but I'm great. The weekend's coming.
Yep.
I've had a good week so far, and before we actually jumped on here, I finally finished because you put me on this last week. You mentioned to me, I think it was on during the recording. You mentioned to me about, hey, there's the Transformers series,
Yeah.
like the next season. Like, hey, you gotta watch it. And I was like, wait, there's season two, so I
Yep.
finally got to watch that
I watched the first two episodes.
before. Yeah, it's good, man. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And
So
I
far, it's
think
good.
season three or chapter three, however you want to look at it, of the trilogy, which is a shame it's only a trilogy, but whatever. That's gonna come out, I think, in May, from what I heard
That's
of
quick.
this year.
They're
So
turning them around pretty quick. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
I
I mean, there's
wonder.
there's short episodes.
They are. Yeah. I really liked the the depth of character that this series has, like especially with Megatron, right? Because we've always known Megatron as like this big baddie that, oh yeah, kill the Autobots, but like you really go deep into like why he's doing it and what his whole purpose of this whole like uprise against the Autobots was, and I really enjoy that. Yeah, so yeah, I watched the first two. Yeah,
Very good. No, I think it's all very good, but when you get to the last two episodes of the second chapter, especially the episode before the last episode, I'm like, man, this is pretty heavy. Like this is pretty intense. Like the elements that they bring into it. So
'cause it's pretty
I look forward.
political. It's like
Very,
class
yeah.
warfare and all this. Yeah. It
Yeah,
is.
dude, it's
Yeah,
it's heavy. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate the ability to take characters. And I think we talked about this before in season one, where like how you mentioned just about Megatron. I think about Optimus Prime. Like for so long, he was just this ominous, like amazing leader, and he absolutely is. That's what we love about him. But they also really get his relationship right with the Autobots, where they question
yeah,
him. They're not really sure, is he really right? Is he wrong? And he admits in this new one, like, I was wrong. I did something out of pure emotion. I made a mistake.
yeah.
Like
So
that's not
it's
stuff
a
that you
flawed.
normally would see from a character that's this. Oh, I'm Optimus Prime.
Yeah, he's very grounded because he's a flawed leader. Like he's a leader and a good one, but he's flawed.
Right.
Yeah. It's good, man.
Yeah, man, it's great. So, and with the leading up to the climax, it leads you very well. It pays
Nice,
off well, and I look forward to the next season, like you mentioned.
nice, cool. I wonder where when they're gonna do the next season of Castlevania, because Castlevania usually comes out like around this time of year.
Yeah.
And I know that season three is coming. Like we've known since season two came out. So I'm or season three. So I'm wondering when that's gonna happen. So cool.
Yeah,
Joe,
Netflix anime.
yeah. Joe, before we go into the big thing that happened like unexpectedly last week, I did watch a movie. Finally got around to watching Birds of Prey
Okay,
or the
cool.
Harley Quinn movie
Yeah, right,
because
exactly. It's a Harley Quinn movie. They had to rename it.
that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's not
Yeah,
Birds of
yeah,
Prey.
man.
It's definitely disingenuous to call it the Birds of Prey. That is absolutely
It's
the
Harley
wrong.
Quinn like featuring the birds of prey. They're in the background.
Yes. Uh, uh,
You didn't like it?
uh, so everyone was great. Everyone was great in the movie with what they were given. The action sequences were phenomenal. There's no question. It's like very, very well done. The all the action sequences were on point. I just it felt like a music video. It feels like you watch the Charlie's Angels movies with like Drew Barrymore
Oh
and
yeah.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
It felt like that. Um, to me, right? And I say that as someone that actually enjoyed those movies. Like my wife likes those movies, and I actually watched
I'm waiting for
this
you like to
movies.
turn around and pull it out of your
Oh,
list.
they're here somewhere, both of
I'm
them.
sure they
Yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. They're there. Yeah. Um, and I was not expecting this movie to be hard R. Like I thought
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
movie was R because maybe they drop an F bomb here, they shot a guy here. This is like RoboCop hard R. It's like I was not expecting this. It's like this is making me uncomfortable. It was like it had some uncomfortable moments for sure. Um, I Ian McGregor is like, dude, is like don't if you put him on a scene, he's gonna shoot the scenery and spit it out at you and say your scenery sucks. Cause he is the man, dude. Like every scene he's in is phenomenal. Um, and Margot Robbie as Harley, because like 98% of the scenes of this movie is her basically.
Yeah.
She was great. Like she was really
The egg
good.
sandwich.
The egg sandwich thing
It's
was
great. Yeah.
that was pretty funny. It had gags and all this and you know and again everyone was great because I think she was great. She was like great as Harley. She was great with like the Harley voice and all this. Like everything was on point, right? Um, but it just felt like a music video for some reason. It just felt like the pacing felt kind of weird. When the pacing got it reminded me of like The Witcher for some reason, where like things are not like there are things happening out of place,
Yeah. There's a
but
lot of
then
things
that
happening.
yeah, but
That
then
is
they
true.
but then like around like, and they converge in the final act of the movie, in the third act. That's when all of this like narrative points actually converge, and you get the final act. Um, I think the final act itself was solid, was good. But just like the first half hour of the movie, ooh, it was really iffy. Yeah. Uh, you know, would I watch it again? No. Is it better than the first Suicide Squad? Probably.
Which I felt that was very music video-y in my opinion. I
It
mean, there's a
was too.
lot of
Yeah.
very like scenes that are completely music videos.
Yeah. Yeah. It was too. Yep. Um. Yeah. Interesting. It was. I was not expecting the movie to be hard R as it was. Uh, which was a pleasant surprise because it was it didn't bother me, but it was weird. It was weird. It was a weird movie. Yeah,
To me, it felt very comic booky. I don't know, like especially
it
the way the
was. It
storytelling
was.
was all over the place. I could see panels being thrown together like this, and it's
Yeah,
better than, like you said, it's better than the first Suicide Squad. I'd put on par with Aquaman in my opinion. Where it's like, hey, I watched it, I had a good time, but it's not like I'm like running around to the world saying you have to see this or you've not seen the
yeah,
greatness. If you like DC, you'll like it.
yeah. Like it's not better
Like
than
Harley Quinn, you'll like it.
it's not better than the worst MCU movie. Like it's
No, 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 no.
like
Those,
let's
yeah.
see. What's the like
People might say Thor:
Iron
The
Man?
Dark World or Iron Man
I enjoyed
2
Thor:
or
The Dark World and Iron
same.
Man 2. I enjoyed too.
Yeah, I actually watched it again recently, and I think it ages better.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 ages better. Yeah,
I think Iron Man 2 suffers from Ghostbuster syndrome.
yeah,
Where the first one was so good, then that your
yeah,
expectations for the second one were like out of place, and then
yeah.
you get a decent good sequel, but it's like oh man, what a letdown. Yeah, that's I think that Ghostbusters 2 was the first movie that happened. Like where like I think the first movie solid, absolutely solid. But I know people that actually like Ghostbusters 2 better, and to some point I could agree. Like
I could see
it
that.
has
Yeah,
some points. It's uh, you know I could not disagree with that. But it's to me Ghostbusters 2 is probably the most underrated sequel ever. Um, because it just the first movie was so good. It's the same thing with Guardians. Guardians 2 was great, but it's just that first movie was
The
so
first
good.
movie is lightning in a bottle.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you just it's hard, right? It's hard.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah. That
Good
was
point. Good point. Yeah.
that was that was the probably the
But
only thing that I watched.
tell us the big news, man.
Bro,
Come on.
so you text me crap, what was it, Thursday?
Sounds right.
Yeah, last Thursday.
Yep.
Did I freeze? There we
Yeah,
go.
you did for a
There we
second. Now
go.
you're back.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. So so you text me on Thursday. It's like, yo, this guy that we work
Mutual
with,
friend.
yeah,
Yep.
mutual friend, managed to grab a PS5 last week, um, and he's gonna do a bro move, and if you're interested, he'll sell it to you for retail. It's like, when and where, I'll make this happen right now. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care. So so I took my lunch early from work. I texted him back. I was like, hey, so this thing, we accorded on a place to meet and everything. PayPal, yeah, PayPal, let's do it. Okay, let's go. And yeah, I took my lunch break basically, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take my lunch break. I'm gonna go. I gotta have this happen now. And I managed to grab a PS5, sir, for retail price.
Press the sound effects button. Cheers. Fireworks goes
Bro.
off.
And you send me a message today. It's like, apparently Walmart's gonna have them today, and it's like, bro, it just feels liberating not to have to deal with this crap anymore, because it was just getting to the point where I was like, you know what, this really stinks, and I just don't feel like dealing with this crap anymore. It's yeah, got a PS5, dude. It's great. So the next day,
Tell us about the experience, man.
okay, so the out of box experience, because you talked about this, and I told you not to spoil it. Man, talk about an upgrade on that. That out of the box experience was really really good. With the exception of one thing. I plugged it in. I wired it in to Ethernet, because it's a console that I'm planning to play online with. I'm not gonna use Wi-Fi. And for some reason it just didn't pick up Ethernet right away. You have to let it do its dance and whatnot and load up. Weirdly enough, it downloaded an update, so it updated. But then when it came back from the update, there's no internet. It's like, you just downloaded an update. What the heck? So you have to go into internet settings. After that, enable Ethernet, and then it connects. But then it kept connecting and disconnecting. I don't know why. It was the weirdest thing. So I got it to, like, it just didn't disconnect anymore. And I really like the QR code, that you just scan a QR code and you log in.
Yeah,
You don't
I
have
like
to
that.
type anything in. That was excellent. Now PlayStation, go do that with your cards, with your PSN cards and your PS Plus cards. It was phenomenal. Like, the whole out of box experience was great. Played Astro's Playroom. I noticed something was off. I noticed something was wrong. It's like, something's wrong, man. I go into my video settings, and surely enough, HDR is not turned on. So it's like I'm getting 4K, and HDR is off. So I go turn on HDR. It flips to 1080p with HDR. I was like, don't tell me that my pass through, because I have it plugged into my home theater receiver,
Right, right,
and it's a
right.
pass through. It's like, don't tell me that my pass through is not compatible, because I will cry, because I'll have to buy a receiver, because there's no going around it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's next gen.
So 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 I go. It's like, well, I gotta make sure that it's not the TV first, and it's not my cables. So I unplug it from the receiver. When I mounted my TV, I ran all the HDMI's down. So I just grab one of those HDMI's, plug it into the TV. Surely enough, 4K HDR working. I was like, oh man, so what's going on, right? So it's like, oh, and I know that the receiver has a 4K, a full 4K, full spectrum, 60 hertz pass through, right? I'm not gonna get the 120 hertz. I'm good because my TV doesn't support it anyway, so I'm fine. So it's like I go in and I remembered that when I first moved to the house, I turned off or I had to reset the receiver because there was something wrong with the network. And and then I go in through the HDMI settings and everything looks good. And it's like, well, I gotta go into like the act like the other like reset settings and see if everything's good. Surely enough, the 4K ports, the bandwidth was turned down on the ports. So I
Oh.
had to turn the bandwidth up, shut down the receiver, turn it back on, and then I plugged the PS5 back in to the receiver, and then it started working. I was like, okay, good. So I'm good. Um,
Whew.
so yeah, because I didn't want to spend
I would have been stressed
four
out,
hundred
man.
dollars on a home theater receiver, man. Um, so yeah, Astro's Playroom. That's a very interesting experience, man. Because it's all about the dual sense. It's all about that controller, and it's really cool. It's really cool. The things that controller can do is awesome. Like
Is it
that's
not one of the best controllers you've ever
oh, it is
used?
the best controller I've
That's
ever used.
that's
Yeah,
yeah, man.
like it was the Switch Pro, and now it's that one now. Which is funny because it's the same people that make the Switch Pro.
Right.
They're the actual company that's building that device. Um, it feels really good. That game is buttery smooth. It's really nice. So I do that right and tried Astro. Next morning, that was the only thing that I did on Friday when I set it up. Was it Friday or
Probably.
Thursday? It
Yeah.
was whenever it was. I think it was Friday. I don't
Before
know.
the weekend, yeah.
Yeah. So no, so it was Friday when I picked it up. Because it was that same night. Um, come Saturday morning, right? I was like, I'm gonna put in Sekiro and play Sekiro because I at this point I was like, well, I don't have anything less like PS5 exclusive yet. I need to go out and grab something.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna play Sekiro. So I play Sekiro. That is a fine video game, sir. It is a very fine video game. So it's not, and I don't know if it's because like Bloodborne is not necessarily hard to be anymore, but it's definitely not as hard as Bloodborne. Like it's not as challenging. And I think part of it is, I mean, so far, right? And I'm only like 2 3 hours maybe into the game. Um, and it's still punishing. Like if you die, you lose your money, you lose your experience points. Um, it's still very punishing. It's still difficult. Like it's not like this is not a a casual game. This is like a legit hard video game. And yeah, it's good, man. It's good. It's got the mobility that's missing from like Bloodborne because Bloodborne is very stiff and you can only do so much. This is like you can jump, you can double jump, you can use your hook, you can grappling hook, and you don't have a stamina bar, so you can run forever, you can slash forever. So very cool, very cool video game. It has a very nice art design. It's like on point. It's great. Running on a PS5. I think the game runs at like 1200p or something, but it's locked at 60. It runs. It's buttery smooth. It's
Power.
awesome. Yep, unlimited power. So it runs great. So Saturday, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pull a couple bucks and I'm gonna do something. So like Saturday afternoon, I told the wife I was like, hey, I'm going to Best Buy. I'll be right back. So for some reason, the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, it online, it's nowhere to be found, and it's like $100. I
Oh
don't know.
wow,
I don't know
jeez.
why,
I
dude.
mean, it's worth it because you get the original. That's the only way you can play the
Yeah.
original in
Well,
the PS5 version.
you can add it actually. That's DLC. It has
Really?
an yeah. It has a menu where you can actually add the option for like 19.99 or something.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, yep. Um, so but you have to have miles. Like it's
yeah, oh
not.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's like DLC
right, right,
basically. Yeah, you
right.
have to have. You cannot buy it standalone. Yep. So I checked stock at Best Buy. I was like, oh, Best Buy has it. I'll just go to Best Buy. So go to Best Buy. Uh, it's cleaned. Like they have no games out, dude. They have like four. It's ridiculous. And I think what Best Buy is gonna do, they're gonna redo their floor plan. So like they didn't have a lot of stuff out. Like their movie section was like closed off. I was like, what the heck, dude? So so I asked one of the guys. It's like, hey, looking for this game. Says you guys have it in stock. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go grab it for you. So dude goes and grab it, right? Cause like, all right. So I don't wanna put like take that PS5 SSD and just fill it up with PS4 games. So I'm gonna buy me a hard drive. So I bought a 2 terabyte external USB 3 hard drive and plugged it into the PS5, and it works great. Like it reads it right away. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you plugged in a hard drive. You want to format it? Yeah, sure. Okay, it's ready to go. Okay, the next morning. Oh wait, Miles. What? What, dude? That game with the performance ray tracing mode, which I
Yes,
think it
yes,
only runs at 1080p, but with ray
yeah.
tracing and at 60 frames a second. That is all I need right there, man. That is
The
all
sales pitch.
I need. And you give it to me in my veins. It was
It is a drug.
it is it is mind blowing. Mind blowing. It looks so good. It's so smooth and the ray tracing looks so good, man. Oh,
These guys got it right. They got it
bro,
right.
the swinging feels fantastic. The combat is like it's very reminiscent of Arkham. So it
Yeah,
does
it
feel like
is. It
Arkham a
is.
lot. But it's just that game is smooth, bro. So only played like the first mission, so we beat Rhino basically, like the
which
tutorial.
is which is amazing already,
I
right?
know, like the
Yeah.
set pieces on like the first on the tutorial mission, it's nuts. So my plan for next weekend is download the full game
Okay.
and play that first, and then continue Miles.
The very smart. Very smart. Yep.
Yep. So
Oh, you'll love that. The beginning of the first one too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. 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 So that's my plan for the weekend. So come the next day, I left a few things to download from PSN. And here's the next morning, right? Final Fantasy 15, because I had to try it. I had to try it. Something was wrong, and it looks like the PS5 didn't come back from rest mode the way it should have, and the hard drive was running slow, the external one. So the load times they took forever, and then when I turned on the like the quality mode, which is like the 4K version of the game, it started running like really choppy. And I was like, oh, I don't like this, man. I switched it to performance, super smooth. Like
Mm.
and performance for that game is 1080p 60 locked. And it was like a different game. It was like it feels like a different game, man, where you're not playing with like choppiness and anything. It's just, oh my god, it's so good. So I had to do like one of the daily missions on that, of course. So I did that, right? And then I popped in Kingdom Hearts 3 just out of curiosity. I want to see. I want to see how it looks like. So Kingdom Hearts 3 does not support HDR natively. Um, I know that the PS5 runs like an HDR, like a constant HDR mode sort of thing. Um, this one was weird because I know that on PS4 Pro, again, this is one that runs at like 1200p. The game targets 60, but it's really choppy. The frame rate drops on Kingdom Hearts 3. This is like locked 60, bro. So it's like it's perfect. It's like, yeah, this is like someone that wants to play this game, this is the way to do it because it's flawless now. It runs super great. So that ran really well, and my daughter's playing with me. Of course, Kingdom Hearts is like, hey, he's like, oh, and and she's like, oh, it looks the same to me. She's telling me it looks the same, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, and it's like, all right, here's my test. I'm gonna get out of the couch, and I'm gonna get close to the TV, and that's when you can see the difference, man.
Okay.
Because you can see that the TV is not upscaling and the pixels are not out
Yeah,
of
yeah,
place. You're getting a native signal, and that's like, oh no, this looks way better.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this
It's
actually
clean.
looks way cleaner, and it was running much smoother. So yeah. So I put that. I downloaded Resident Evil 7 because it's on the PS
Yep.
Plus
Plus.
collection. Downloaded a couple things, not a lot for PS Battlefront. Downloaded Battlefront. Uh,
Yeah, I have that already too.
yeah, downloaded a couple things, and then played more Sekiro, and that was it so far. This week I haven't had a chance. Although in the mornings, because I brought my PS4 to this room now,
Nice,
so now
nice.
like
Yeah.
now in the mornings I've been playing Bloodborne here. Like I still got like an hour and a half to go to work, so I'll just play Bloodborne.
Right,
So I've
right.
been doing that in the mornings here,
Nice,
like
nice.
shopping at that new game that I started. But man, I am so happy and so excited and just grateful that I don't have to deal with this whole like out of stock thing anymore, man. It's
What a
just
disaster it's been.
it's
So
been
you saw
rough.
the thing with the AMD chip, right? You saw
Yeah,
that.
so we were gonna talk about it next week, and I ran through it, and I forgot, but I do have another a piece of news here from Ars Technica that came out on Tuesday. It's basically yeah, same thing. It's just that it's gonna it's hard. There's a parts shortage, and right now, I don't know if you saw they put out numbers yesterday, and they said that they've sold the basically sold 4.5 million
Yeah.
PS5s last year, which is the same as PS4. So it's on track.
And they're saying the only thing holding it back is those parts.
It's
Like
supply.
it's not because people, not because oh, it's not as
The
popular as like
scalpers. Yeah,
no, it's impossible. It's ridiculous.
yeah, it's really
And the
hard.
other half of it too, let's be honest, dude. The other half of it too is like we're in a day and age where they're required. I mean, it's basically every retailer has to do it online. Like back in the day, people would have to either show up, like wait in a line or something, or buy it online. You kind of split that crowd up in parts.
Yeah, Joel, I'm gonna
So,
send you.
walk in and go scalp 10, PlayStations. You
I'm
only pick up one.
I'm gonna send you a graphic that I saw for PS4 versus Switch sales in Japan. Hold on, I'll send it to you here
Japan.
in the chat.
Very nice.
Oh wait, it's not. It's a picture. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to show my screen. Hold on.
Cool, cool. Well, there
Where
we go.
is OBS? There we go. Nope. Hey, where are we? Where are we? Where are we?
If you're listening to the podcast version, right
Uh,
now Obed is finagling
I'm
with
finagling,
our live
I'm
stream
finagling with the live
show.
stream.
And he's trying to show us all a wonderful graphic of
Okay.
sales in
I'll
Japan.
do it on the call. Hold on. I'll share my screen on the call and we can
Very
get that.
nice, very nice.
We can get that. So you tell me, sir, if this is alarming or not.
Oh, I can see this.
You can
Oh,
see that,
oh,
right?
snap.
Yep. I'm gonna stop the share because it sucks over here. But you saw that, right?
Wow, that's crazy,
The
dude.
the Switch is outpacing the PS4 at a rate of 99%
Wow, that's
in
crazy,
Japan.
dude.
Like they are not like
Nintendo owns the market.
they own the market. They own the Japanese market. That means that Nintendo's never going away, man.
Nah, man,
Um,
good for them.
yeah. Crazy thing is that on that thing is like Microsoft is not even on the on the chart, which is nuts. And they were like very aggressive with the Series X, like when they were coming out, and there was like, oh, they were doing like a big
What
Japanese
they probably
push. And
sold like 5 of them out there.
it's probably, yeah, it's probably really bad. Um,
Man.
but yeah, man, it's a, I mean, and they're not the only ones, right? Microsoft's on the same boat because they both use parts from the same manufacturers,
Right.
so they're,
Custom chips.
yeah. So they're, it's a shortage, it's a parts shortage, and it's bad for everyone, but we'll get
And
over
they're
it
saying this won't be
eventually.
fixed until maybe summer. They're saying maybe it will
Correct.
be fixed by then, like their production. So
Correct. Yeah. So they're
we
saying
might
that.
not be till Christmas where it's like, guess what? You can get one, and then the demand is crazy again.
Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Um. So I'm
Especially
very
with God
grateful.
of War. We're gonna talk about God of War in a second here, but
Yeah.
especially with the second one coming in, that's I had someone else tell me the same thing again today. I've heard a couple of people say that like that's what they're banking on getting this console for is to play that.
Yep. Yeah. Man, hopefully they can really ramp up that production because
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
So J3, if you're listening, man, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. And thanks again for the lower third because we still use it to this day.
Yes, we do.
Joe, do you want to talk about WandaVision real quick? Because we didn't talk about it last week. So we got
Sure.
two
Yeah.
episodes in the bag. Um, I don't know if you've watched the film theory uh, about WandaVision. Okay. Um, so film theory, because we've all speculated that Mephisto is going to be the big baddie,
It's
right?
already confirmed.
Like pretty much, right?
It's
But
there's
that
leaks, man.
but that yeah, I didn't know about that.
There's pictures and everything.
Yeah.
Don't even look for it.
So he was theorizing that it's not going to be Mephisto because of China, like because you can't have like the supernatural thing going on. But we've all, like, it's super obvious, dude. Like this, it's like it's too on the nose,
It's
right?
happening.
Like you don't even have to
I
look
would
for
put money
leaks.
on it. Let's put it that way. It's happening.
Yeah, like you don't even have to look for leaks, and it's like
No.
it's like all over the
We called it
place,
from
right?
like this the first two episodes we were talking about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so you want to talk about the Pietro thing? Because I think that was the more important thing that happened on
It
that
was awesome.
episode. Yeah, yeah. When the
Monica Rambeau when
Monica
she comes
Rambo.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Rambo is there, and
Awesome.
and then she asks her. She talks like, "Oh, I used to have a brother. His name was Pietro, and he's dead." I was like, "Oh yeah, he was killed by Ultron." It's like, so she broke character, like in the inside the whole thing, right? Where everyone's a character, which means that everyone is aware of what's going on. Like even like, I mean, we saw it too with like Agnes and the other and the neighbor talking.
Yes.
And
Cutting the
they
wall
and they
and
yeah and they that was like a symbolic thing of cutting the wall, right? It's like breaking
right.
breaking the wall. Um, and we know that they know what's going on, right? Um, Especially with Agnes, and then on episode 4, everyone's accounted for except her. Like all this stuff, like the things that we talked about before about Mephisto and whatnot. So the hexagon thing being a hex, and being at a like a witch thing that's going on, that's put on Wanda. That super creepy shot with Vision, with dead Vision, was great, dude. It
Dude,
was
she's
so good.
so emotionally attached. She's literally carrying his corpse around, dude,
That's the
and bringing to
theory, right?
life.
Yeah, like that's the theory, that she's basically
What?
reanimating the body. Yeah.
Whew.
Um, it's
Wild.
crazy. I want to give a big shout out to MCU for bringing Kat Dennings back. I really appreciate you, MCU.
She's awesome.
From a personal standpoint,
She's
I really
awesome.
appreciate that. So yeah, it was great to see Darcy back, and then we nailed it with the agent, with
Oh yeah,
Agent
Woo. Yeah,
Wu.
the voice.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, that was
Who's doing
good.
this to you, Wanda?
Yep. So we nailed that. And then the drone getting changed to a little toy helicopter. Uh, yeah, many different hints that we've gotten. But that last episode, that felt like a really Avengers e
Oh yeah, the
sort of thing.
sword stuff.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was a really cool episode. So looking forward for tomorrow. There's supposed to be like a big like jaw dropping cameo coming up. Like it's gonna happen either tomorrow or the last episode. So we'll see what that is. You probably know. Yeah, I see you.
No, I don't
You
know.
don't know?
I
Okay.
mean, if I had
Like
to guess, it's gonna be a very powerful mutant.
we know the Pietro thing, uh,
Yeah,
but
no,
that's
it's
probably
yeah.
gonna
That's
happen.
not a big cameo. Because put it this way, she put it on par with the Mandalorian cameo,
Yeah, yeah.
and that ain't gonna be no, Quicksilver just shows up
Is
again.
it Fassbender, dude?
If it's Magneto and it's
Bro, if
Fassbender,
it's
or
Fassbender,
any other dude, but yeah, yes.
if because he was great. It's unfortunate that like those last two movies were terrible. So I mean, like, the last one, the other one was kind of terrible, but I would like. Do you think he would be back though?
No,
No.
I don't. I would. I feel like that's very fanny kind of thinking. But look, I'm the same guy that said that they're not going to put Luke Skywalker in
Could
Mandalorian
it be
because it
Ian?
was too
Could
awesome.
it
And
be
then
Ian McKellen? And
could be,
yeah,
could be, could be Hugh Jackman.
could be
I
Hugh
mean, something
Jackman,
random. Someone who would
bro.
be happy to just show up like for work. Yeah, I
Yeah,
could see
Patrick
that.
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart would show up for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Or
That would
again,
be
it
that
could
would
be
be a huge
some.
cameo. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be someone else that the fans have wanted for a bit that just makes a big
It has
surprise
to
there. But
be, yeah. I mean, like the way they're putting it, right? Like with a like sort of like Mandalorian level event. Um, it has to be either Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, or Ian McKellen. Like it has to be one of the three.
because if her father was to show up, yep, okay, that would make sense,
Yeah,
right? To stop everything from going on, helping out his daughter, that would
yeah.
make sense.
All, mhm.
Or if Professor X showed up, it would also make sense. Where he's like, "Listen, Wanda, there's." That's not straight up. That's the House of M comic, dude. I could
Yeah,
pull up the page right now,
yeah,
dude, where he yells at her, "Give us our world back, Wanda."
yeah. That was
I'm getting chills, bro.
that would
Whew.
yeah.
Sweaty nerd.
It's it's gonna be. It's apparently this is pretty huge. Also, I mean, let's keep it Marvel for the next few minutes. So, do you hear anything about the Tom Holland interview that came out today?
I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, this is the most ambitious single superhero, like
Standalone.
standalone
Nice try.
superhero movie ever, and then they asked him about the other Spider-Man, and he says like, "No, it's me. I mean, if the other guys are in, I don't know about it. I don't know. We don't die.
Yeah, he knows his history, so he knows like
He
he's been
know
around for the last few years. He
he
knows.
knows where to stop.
Yeah.
so so that was that's pretty interesting. But yeah. It's I love this show. This show's really good.
I know.
It's
Because
really good.
every time people ask me, "Hey Joe, what do you think about this show?" My instant reaction is like, "I love that it's mysterious. I love that
Twilight Zone.
it's very intuitive. It's like I love the connective tissue stuff where you've got to like, really dig it out, and it's like hidden in plain sight, and like you've got. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
catch the whole thing. I forget which episode it was, where like supposedly the what's his name? This dude that actually gave Devon Strucker his place or whatever, his
Yeah.
castle or whatever was like on one of the walls. No exaggeration,
Oh,
like literally
really?
was like blended into one. And I was like, what? And then I went back and pulled it up. I was like, yes, it was
Wow.
hidden in plain sight, dude.
And the watch is
Oh
Strucker.
yeah, the watch was
Strucker.
good.
Yeah.
So there's some really smart stuff being hidden in this show. I love what
It's
they've done with
amazing.
it.
It's really good, man. It's really I really enjoy it. Like my wife is totally lost. She doesn't have a clue what's going on. I was like,
But she's
we
probably still sitting back and
but
saying, "Sure."
we said it like we said it. It was like this is a hardcore Marvel fan show. Like this is a hardcore show. This is
Yeah.
not for the casual audience for sure. Again, you can follow Mando. You know, it's like, oh, give me a timeline. Okay, I can follow that. But then this is like all over the place, and it's an Easter egg hunt basically.
Yes.
The entire show is and it's great, and I
It's a great
really
time to be a nerd.
oh yeah yeah. Then after this, we're gonna a few weeks later we're gonna get Falcon Winter
Falcon.
Soldier, which War Machine's confirmed to be in at least one episode.
And another Avenger is supposed to be also showing up.
Probably
I don't know if
Wanda.
you heard about that
It's
too.
probably Wanda.
Wanda
It's
Cap? I don't know,
it's
dude.
she's gonna show up everywhere now until
Connect it.
yeah
Yeah.
until
Because
yeah
like I said, technically, she'll be in Spider-Man. She'll be in obviously Doctor Strange already confirmed.
yeah
This is gonna be leading into a larger thread.
yeah man
House of M 2023.
yep. You
Think we
think
think.
no? Well, House of M is happening right now. I don't think they're gonna do that, but they're gonna do like a big thing
Could
like.
be season 2 of WandaVision.
But
They'll
there's too
conclude it.
much. There's too much House of M on the show already. Like it's.
No, I disagree, my
You
friend.
disagree?
I disagree, my friend.
Okay.
We're just getting started.
See, but that's too deep though.
A fan can dream.
Yeah,
You're probably right.
yeah, that's like Age of Apocalypse. Dude, you know what? Age of Apocalypse would have been good to
Yeah.
see with the X-Men movies, and unfortunately, Apocalypse was just not done justice.
Oof.
You know,
That's when it started to go down.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Days of Future Past, and then Apocalypse came out. It's like, oh,
But
what happened?
Days of Future Past was so good, man, and
So
then
good.
Logan was like, it's so good. Yeah,
I know.
yep. Uh, yeah. This show's gonna end up in like holy crap. I think it's gonna be big. Um, and Joel, we also got news this week that Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther, is working on a Wakanda series for Disney Plus. So how do you feel about that, sir?
Wakanda forever.
Forever.
That's what this dude's signing on. A few commentators, you might have heard this already, are saying like, "Wow, this is amazing," because a guy of his caliber, like he can get any project he wants right now. So for him to sign on for a Disney Plus TV series for 5 years with this company, rather than going out and making the next 2 3 blockbuster films that he could have at any other studio that he wants at this point. And we're talking about the same guy who gives you Oscar stuff with obviously Oscars with with the Black Panther, Creed, and just this guy's just really doing great stuff. Fruitvale Station, all whatever, right? But no, he's had to do a Disney Plus show. You're like, what? So as a fan, I absolutely love this, and I think it shows how much Coogler actually loves Wakanda and how much he loves this stuff. I mean, I know he's been a fan for a while.
Yeah.
I remember hearing back in the early days before the Justice League movies, before he was attached to anything, that he would just go to Comic-Con as a fan and literally would just be sitting in panels, just hanging out. And people were like, this guy really does care about this stuff. He's a young dude that just he loves these properties, and to finally get himself attached to it, I think he wants to do some great stuff. There's plenty of things to be done. I mean, obviously we can have an M'Baku segment stuff with Shiri. Was it Wakabi? I think was the guy that was from Get Out. That he had his own tribe. Like there's so many different parts of the kingdom of Wakanda. And that's what they're really going to talk about. It's going to be the kingdom of Wakanda and these different tribes.
And
There,
Killmonger and
yeah,
this dude's open to coming back.
right. Because you can
So
get big actors. We're already seeing it
yeah.
right now with Disney Plus. So
Well,
it's only going to get better, man. It's only going to get better.
yeah. I think Disney Plus is shaping up to be a contender now. It's
For sure.
definitely it took them a year or a year and so, but they're getting there, and I think that with what they're doing with Marvel, because again this show is so good, and then Mando being so good, like all of their like exclusive stuff for as of now has been really good. So yeah, looking forward to it for sure. This is high quality stuff. What Disney's is putting out right now, except for except for those Look, the Grand Republic books.
Have you read them?
No, I heard stuff.
See, I've actually started to dive into it a bit.
Really?
I mean, like
Yeah.
they're completely disconnected from everything with Star Wars. So I think that's why people just don't like it because
Yeah.
it's like it's using the name of Star Wars, but it isn't. If that makes sense. Like it's its
Mm.
own. It's like if you just read it as just a fiction, it's fine.
Yeah. I think they're
But because it's Star Wars, it's like,
it's
eh.
it's at their attempt of at trying to reset the universe, but like that's not gonna fly with like fans are not gonna like it.
Right. That's a problem,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you gotta think about it, right? It's like your fans are the ones that provide you with the means to keep putting out products. So yeah, it's just weird. So one interesting thing before we jump into so a couple other things that we don't have too much. But did you see that there's no on the upcoming like toy lines that they have planned for Star Wars? There's nothing regarding the sequel trilogy. Like everything is original trilogy and Mando.
Makes sense. It just didn't sell well.
Yeah, this
The stuff for the sequels didn't sell that well. I mean, unless it was like BB-8, like that was probably one of the better
the
ones.
Porgs.
Oh yeah, Porg sold,
Yeah,
yeah,
Porg
I'm
sold.
sure.
Yeah,
But there wasn't really anything else to
yeah,
say.
man, it's weird how they.
Now, now I will say this as I'm gonna be make a bold statement here. I'm not saying I necessarily want to be right about this. This is just how I feel. Like I feel like a lot of people are looking for signs to see the sequel trilogy erased. And I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. Anything is possible. I'm not saying it is not possible at all. I just do not believe that that is their plans right now. I
Because
don't believe it because everybody, like everyone that keeps saying that the sequel trilogy is like it's gone, it's over, they're completely going away from it. I think that they're like not acknowledging it, but I think they're staying away from it. But I don't think they're trying to erase it. If that makes any sense. I mean, these are the same people that are saying like they've been. And I told you this from a year ago, dude. We were sitting here a year ago, and there's like the Kathleen Kennedy stuff started coming up, and they're like, "Oh, she's already been removed." I'm
oh
telling you, but my
and
sources are telling me.
the oh no that one wasn't that bad, but the Mike Zero ones were.
But I'm just saying, like no exaggeration, Kathleen Kennedy could be promoted to like head of Disney tomorrow, and they would be like, sources are telling me that this is a
She's
move
gone
to keep her away from the
from
Star
Star
Wars
Wars
stuff, and so we're gonna
to
make her higher.
to save Star Wars. No,
And I said on the show
well
before, like
the
this
thing,
is
yeah, the
she
thing.
hired John Favreau for the
Okay,
Mandalorian.
but
That's a matter of a
but
fact, bro.
but here's the
So
thing.
she has had more faults than she's had successes. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, that's the thing. That's the
But
thing. Yeah.
we cannot pretend like she's not in control of this thing. The ship is hers. I don't think Bob has taken the ship from her.
I
I'm
don't
not saying it
know.
can't
I don't know.
happen. I just it's been a year, bro. Like if these
I
people keep
know.
saying the same stuff, there's it's
Yeah,
there's no evidence behind
but
it.
I think
They believe anything that they see.
but see, it's been a year, right? But it's only been about a month since Mando dropped the bomb on us. That's the thing, and I think that moment uh, both affected the outcome of the sequel trilogy because of canon, right? But not only that, it affect the future of Star Wars because, uh, I mean, these guys are paying attention to fan reactions, and I think that it has been more than obvious that overwhelmingly fans loved what happened in Mando. So I don't think
I
I think that's the moment everything changed. Like all right, so prove me wrong. You do your old Republic thing. You do your thing. I'll keep doing the Mando thing. The proof the supposed story, right, that they were in a meeting and like John Favreau said, it's like, well, you let me do my thing, and you do yours and prove me wrong. Like that supposedly happened between them. Uh,
I would
you know,
argue that it's whenever she does something that has to be new for Star Wars, like anything that we've not seen before, sequel trilogies, that type of thing,
Books.
books and these kind of things, that's where the problems come.
Yeah.
Rogue One, perfectly fine. Mandalorian, perfectly
Even
fine.
Solo to
Clone Wars,
some extent.
Solo to some extent is not a travesty. It's not one of, I don't care for the film, but I know it's not a. I can be honest with you and be rational and say it's
Again,
not a
it's better
disaster.
than episode
It's
2. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm not
Arguably,
gonna
arguably.
yeah I'm not gonna say it's a disaster at all, and from that regard, but when we look at specifically things like the sequel trilogy and because of how important it is to us as fans, knowing that's part of the Skywalker saga and the events that happen with Skywalker, I think that's where like the pain is there and the bruise is still hurting. But when you literally think about it, like anything that she's touched that has to do with the past,
It's been good
it's fine.
because that's what fans want.
Right. But just because it's what fans want doesn't mean you can't screw it up.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because fans wanted uh, the sequel trilogy, right? Something that
Right.
the fans wanted. But here's the thing, right? There was so much promise with Force Awakens. It was so promising,
Yeah.
and then promises were not kept. It's like, oh, you want?
Complete changed. Yeah.
Did you ever watch the video I sent you? Because I
I
found it.
did.
Yeah. That was interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, it's too like for me I'm starting to read some of these and I'm not gonna call any specific names and stuff,
yeah,
but there's a list of them that I instantly discredit the moment that they start talking about Kathleen. I'm like, you guys are just
yeah,
saying stuff that you feel you don't like. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
saying that like she
Well,
can't be fired
well
tomorrow. We could
yeah,
literally close the show when it can happen. I just don't. I think you guys are just waiting for the inevitable. You don't actually know that
yeah.
this is an
Well,
actual thing.
the thing with Overlord DVD, the last video, no, not the last video, because I think he put one out today about fans revolting or something. But the last one that he put out about the sequel trilogy getting basically like not, basically put on an alternate dimension, and then like them remaking the sequel trilogy for Disney Plus. So when I send you a link to an article, and I said I don't buy it, but this thing's catching steam, and he was the first one to talk about it. But then after that, like there were several other articles of like, not necessarily not cosmic book news sort of thing. Like they were like mid tier reporters. But even so, I just don't buy it. Right?
Yeah,
Um, I
I'll
buy
believe it when I see it, dude.
Yeah, I buy them. But I would believe more that they would recast, Han, Luke, and Leia, and then they do a new sequel trilogy than remaking everything back with or without Rey or whatever the thing.
Bingo.
I
They just
would,
won't acknowledge it.
yeah, exactly. And
It's a difference.
that thing's gonna be there and whatnot. But then they're gonna have like a separate sequel trilogy that's gonna be different.
Now, don't get me wrong. By the time that you and I are, you know, much older men, I'm talking like, 15, 20 years from now. I'm not calling us old men, just older
And I'll be
men, right?
55, dude. Like,
And listen, I'm not going on your age, but I'm just saying, like, by the time that like the people that actually grew up with the sequel trilogies, I mean, you and I know this, the Twitter armies, they argue that the Last Jedi is like a masterpiece and their favorite Star Wars movie ever, and like those people that you talk to that have a certain age and that have not been around Star Wars as
yep,
long as you and I have, they will return to the sequel. That's why they're not getting rid of it, because
bro.
they're thinking ahead.
Yeah,
And they know that there's some people out there that do like this stuff, and it's similar to like we're talking about the prequels and these kind of things.
yeah.
Not the same, but similar.
Again, look
And they
at
will have Ray show up somewhere, something down the line.
yeah,
Like
look at
it'll happen.
Oh yeah. Look at again, if you go and look for like reaction to like, oh, react to like watching the Rise of Skywalker again. Most of the reactions I've seen have been positive. Like from younger people, like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, this was so good, and I really liked it, and I liked how they brought Palpatine back, and they did, it's like everything that fans hated, they liked, like they brought Palpatine back, the that Rey took on the Skywalker name because she had like quote unquote no family, and this whole thing, like I think like oh it was good. It was like I like everything, all the criticism that like hardcore fans have, like these people like the younger audiences. It's weird,
They're
but it's
like,
the
wait,
truth.
my
Yeah,
dad was angry, but I liked it, and it's like it's
I
that kind of
know.
a dynamic. And
Yeah,
I'm not like faulting
yep,
anybody, but I just think they have a different experience than most of us who've been around it for so long, and that's what I think Disney's holding out on, which is why they're trying
yeah,
to appease the current people,
yep,
give them their Mando, give them their Obi-Wan series, give them
exactly.
that stuff. But trust me, my friend, and
Yeah.
years from now, yeah,
Yeah, well, the thing, and again, I've seen like younger people watch the prequels,
yeah,
and they watch episode two, and I think episode two is the worst Star Wars movie,
and they
and
like
and
it,
they like it.
yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it was so cute,
And all
and
these Jedi's came.
Anakin and Padme were so cute
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
and yeah, and poor Anakin and Yoda was awesome. So yeah, dude, it's
We'll
weird.
get Grogu for the next 7 years
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
He's gonna be like, an ultimate Jedi in a
yep.
movie, an Avengers movie style Star Wars thing and all that. It's gonna happen. But then, we'll get a Ray or something show up later on, and
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna be around. Well, we'll see. Justice League. Uh, Rated R. Again, we go back to the unexpected hard R that we had on Birds of Prey. Although the ultimate cut of Batman v Superman is rated R.
that's why
So
it's not unexpected for me.
yeah, exactly.
That's a classic Snyder move.
Yep, yep. And it would make sense. There's probably an F bomb here and there, and probably someone dies
Well, he actually
in a
was on
horrible way.
record. He was on record saying, I think it was in December, where he made a comment about Cyborg and something else, and it was somewhere on the lines where he was like, Cyborg speaks his mind, and Steppenwolf. He literally said something like Steppenwolf is just slicing people in half, and their guts are going everywhere. And he was like, yeah, this is probably rated R. Like, so he knew what he wanted to do and what he was going for. I mean, any Snyder movie that's not like a typical commercial film, like these, your Man of Steels and those kinds of things. That's the style he goes for, anyways. So, yeah, Batman saying bad words will probably be more of a thing, and
Yeah.
a lot of more blood. I'm not surprised by this move. It's on HBO. It's on HBO Max. It's not in the theaters. They're doing something just to kind of give certain fans a hype. I'm really excited to see some stuff with Wonder Woman, because he was very open about this on his Twitter, where when he's been ranting about, and his Wonder Woman was a boss, go ahead and
They
cut people's heads off
that
and
they
stuff.
changed
So
their yeah that they
I want to see
changed her a
that
lot.
warrior, that 300 style warrior that goes crazy.
Yeah, they were saying that the basically like Wonder Woman was completely changed on the
Yeah.
on the on the yeah on the call we got. Yeah,
And
and
even
I
he
heard
kind
that.
of hints at like the stuff that they do in the Wonder Woman movies, like in this new, like he was gonna make her way more intense.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
mean, it's pretty awesome.
it's awesome. Yeah.
Obviously, the Martian Manhunter thing. I'm sure
Yep.
you've seen that going around. Not
And
crazy
the
about the design of it, but
yeah and the Jared Leto picture, that one's interesting.
oh
That one I
yeah,
liked
yeah,
because it gave me a vibe of Arthur Curry,
yeah.
and I like it. I like it. It looked very unsettling, and yeah, looking forward to that actually. Not having, not being damaged anymore. Dude, that design is so terrible. Why
I
would you do
know
that?
they took it. He took that stuff off. That's
Yeah,
not there.
and
Yeah.
the Birds of Prey, not Jared Leto scene was
That's
really
why there
silly.
will not be a different edit of Suicide Squad. That's why we're not going to see the Ayer cut. It ain't the same. I'm not
Man,
saying it isn't different. I'm just saying it ain't the same as the Snyder cut.
no, yeah, yeah, man. Uh, I'm excited. Excited. I'm actually. It's funny because it comes out when I'm still on under the trial for HBO Max, so I'm
Wow.
good. But then I'm gonna have to renew after that because
Kong
Goji.
versus
Gotta
Godzilla.
watch Goji, man. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
bro.
I gotta watch that. Which also, I don't know if you saw the Funko Pop leak on that. That the villain that we thought is basically
Oh
confirmed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
there's not going around that either.
Yeah. So it's there's a Funko Pop and it looks cool. The design looks cool. Not
Nice.
it looks kind of like I'm wondering if they're gonna go all out like the design they had in Ready Player One, because that one was like an all out design that they had there. Like if you watch Ready Player One, the villain for this movie is in that movie. So you watch it. Um and yeah, it's leaked, but we kind of knew, like it's on the trailer, so
Yeah.
it's no surprise. Yeah. It's a blink and you miss it kind of thing, but it's there. Joel, the only thing that I have left is basically God of War received a PS5 patch this past Tuesday, 4K 60. Joel, play it now, man.
I was like, this is the best timing. I'm
Yeah.
so glad I waited because I'm gonna have an amazing experience with this game. I'm gonna put my Pulse 3D headset on, load up that DualSense, and go crazy.
Let me talk about the Pulse 3D headset.
Please tell me about that Pulse
It is
3D headset.
uncomfortable AF, sir.
I did
I
not expect that.
don't like it.
It's uncomfortable. It's probably because I have.
To me, I mean, I have a big head and weird ears, so I don't
He
know.
said it. I didn't say it, guys.
But I don't know. I've
Would
been
never
wearing
say that about my friend.
I've been wearing these the HyperX X Cloud for 2 3 years now, maybe. They're super comfortable. They're great. So I was kind of disappointed because they kind of like feel like they don't cup your ear. I don't know if it happens to you. They don't cup your ear, and I think it's because of the 3D audio. The way they fall, it's like they're kind of like split at the bottom, like kind of like that, and they just feel weird. They sound okay though. They don't sound as good as this ones. They sound,
Well, I mean, you've got.
but they sound. But I paid $100 for those things, man. I'm expecting
But
good audio.
but here's the thing, though. Like, what games take advantage of that real 3D audio that's native? Like, I don't think we have it.
Spidey,
Spidey, I think is up there.
yeah.
But I don't think
Demon Souls probably.
even tapped into this thing yet, dude. Same thing with the DualSense. We haven't tapped into this.
Oh no. We're gonna see this later. But yeah, Spidey, Demon Souls probably. Yeah. Other than that, I wouldn't. Maybe got a war with this patch. So I heard that Sekiro's getting a patch like in March.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm gonna leave Sekiro as it is, and then I'm gonna come back to it.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I,
What does that run out on PS5?
oh yeah, it's updated.
Okay.
For a 4K, yeah, they have a 4K 60 mode, I think, on that.
Okay, because
Yeah.
that's the another one that I waited that I need to do.
Yes, dude, I saw Horizon. I saw a video of Horizon running. Yeah, that looks pretty incredible. That looks like a next gen game, and that game
Yeah.
is almost 4 years old. Can you imagine that? It's amazing. That game's amazing, dude.
And then we get, every month they're doing a really good job on PS Plus with
Dude,
giving us some good games, Control
Control
and Destruction
Ultimate
All Stars.
Edition. We
Fantastic.
got
Yeah.
Control Ultimate Edition, man. That game is still like expensive if
Oh
you're
yeah.
gonna buy it. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, really happy with PS Plus for the last couple of months. So, yeah, that's what we got. I know that there's a few more things out there that we wanted to talk about, but
We'll throw it out
we'll
next time.
throw it out next time. We'll put it on the socials. But yeah, Jules, go ahead and plug us in, man.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, good people of No Load Time, thank you for watching, listening to our show. If you're on our podcast, we invite you to subscribe. Subscribe to our audio podcast where podcasts are found, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that good stuff. Also, make sure to subscribe to our video version on our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. We do our live broadcast of our recordings on our Facebook page. So go ahead to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also you can follow us on Twitch. Make sure to send an email if you have any questions, comments, feedback. We'd love to hear from you. So make sure to send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all very much, and we look forward to being with you on our next episode.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you again next time.